Welcome to a massive, mind-expanding conversation. Today, we are breaking down a visionary dialogue between host Nikhil Kamath and legendary investor and entrepreneur Vinod Khosla. We are diving into the contrarian mindset that builds empires, why AI is going to replace 80% of all jobs in the next few years, the case for a utopian future where expert services are totally free, and how the next generation of founders could build a billion-dollar company with just 10 employees. Let us get right into it. Nikhil kicks things off by asking Vinod about his roots and his famous contrarian certainty. Vinod paints a vivid picture of his youth in India. At 16 years old, long before the internet, he would travel to Old Delhi just to rent out-of-date technology magazines. Reading about Andy Grove founding Intel sparked a massive fire. He wanted to start a tech company in Silicon Valley, even though he knew absolutely no one in business. That drive forced him to forge his own path. When he arrived at IIT Delhi for his electrical engineering degree, he realized they had no computer programming classes. So he just started one himself, as a hobby club. Later, he pushed to create India's first biomedical engineering program. Nikhil points out Vinod's deep skepticism of the status quo, but Vinod draws a sharp distinction between a skeptic and a visionary.
Skeptics, to me, are always saying why things can't be done. Entrepreneurs and investors are a whole different thing. They are always saying, what if something was possible?
Vinod brings up electric vehicles to prove his point about forcing the impossible into reality. He notes that legacy automakers like General Motors threw billions at half-hearted, incremental electric vehicle projects.
Toyota took the safe road by adding low-risk hybrid engines. But Elon Musk risked total bankruptcy to build a completely new paradigm with Tesla, forcing the future into existence. Vinod argues that if Elon hadn't made that world happen, we wouldn't see electric cars dominating 25% of new sales in California today. Fast forward to today, Nikhil asks what drives Vinod at age 70. Vinod explains his guiding principles: a deep passion for a vision, persistence through failure, and the pragmatism to execute. He boldly declares he plans to effect more change in the next 15 years than in the past 50. His ultimate metric for success is purely internal. Is his brain satisfied with its self-worth? To achieve that, he points to a manifesto he wrote 10 years ago titled Reinventing Societal Infrastructure with Technology. One of his massive goals is fundamentally changing how we live, envisioning a bicycle commute economy for India where millions don't have to migrate away from their families to crowded megacities just to find work. This brings Nikhil to the ultimate question for young entrepreneurs. Where should a 22-year-old place their bets over the next decade? Vinod delivers a stunning prediction about artificial intelligence, expecting massive automation to arrive much faster than people realize. Almost certainly, with no doubt. There isn't a job where I won't be able to do 80% of all jobs. And that's what today's 20 or 22-year-old has to take for granted. His advice is clear: do not become a specialist, optimize entirely for flexibility. Even traditional technical skills are changing rapidly, with Google reporting that 35% of their new code is written by AI. The ultimate skill is learning how to learn from first principles. Nikhil pushes back: if AI does all the work, won't capital become the ultimate moat? Vinod takes it in a utopian direction. He imagines a world where tools like his wife's company, CK12, provide a free AI tutor to every child in India. He predicts expertise will become entirely free across the board. Free AI lawyers, judges, and wealth advisors for the poorest citizens. In the UK, AI chatbots are already diagnosing mental health conditions for the National Health Service with greater accuracy than human therapists. If a farm worker can do the same job that an oncologist can, do you pay them the same? Almost certainly it'll be true 15 years from now. Because of this incredible abundance, Vinod argues we are heading toward massive economic deflation. So in a way you're also saying that UBI is an inevitability. I think some form of income redistribution by 2050 will be absolutely essential everywhere in the world. In a world where $10,000 buys more goods and services than $50,000 does today, this kind of economic baseline becomes a complete necessity. Nikhil then asks about sovereign AI. Shouldn't countries fiercely protect their data? Vinod agrees regional models will exist, pointing to his investments in India's Sarvam and Japan's Sakna. But on personal data, he notes that the immense value users get back from customized services heavily outweighs the modest revenue platforms earn per user. Building on that, Nikhil asks a brilliant tactical question about an AI democratized world. If 10 entrepreneurs hear that, and they all use the same means to approach this problem, and AI is as democratic as it is right now, wouldn't they all 10 arrive at the same solution? Vinod explains that the difference will come down to deep strategic thinking and choosing the right stakeholders. Most people maximize revenue for the short term and are not thinking strategically. So the strategic entrepreneurs will do better. The entrepreneurs who pick better employees who help them think through strategy will do better. He compares company building to climbing Mount Everest. You don't just sprint for whatever looks like the highest peak nearby. You strategically map out your base camps. This incredible long-term leverage is becoming so extreme that Vinod expects we will soon see a billion-dollar revenue company run by a team of just 10 employees. This long-term vision applies to his own investments, too. Like self-driving personal rapid transit pods that could replace massive city buses. As the conversation wraps up, they touch on the current slowdown in global EV sales. But Vinod remains utterly certain that all land mobility will eventually be electric. Ultimately, Vinod leaves the audience with one overriding principle. Do not just chase trends. Pick a hard problem. Rely on your passion, and persist through the inevitable failures. Because in a world being reshaped by artificial intelligence, the ultimate competitive advantage is an unbreakable drive to do the impossible.